Hi, I've chosen to talk about chapter 8 in the book of James Elkins. It's the one that talks about the Egyptian hieroglyphs. Um, this chapter interests me a lot because of its symbolic and graphic nature. Not only because the images are beautiful, but also because of the whole idea of turning into symbol images from the natural world. And as I was looking at these pictures and reading the chapter, I couldn't help thinking about the work of Picasso and how he also deconstructs especially the figure, to turn it almost into a symbol. So I came with some examples on how the Egyptian hieroglyphs relate to the work of Picasso, and they could have even served as a form of inspiration for his work. These hieroglyphs are basically a combination of logographs and pictographs turned into an actual form of alphabet. And they were developed in the early Bronze Age, um, about around the 32nd century before Christ. Um, they develop into a whole mature language, whole mature form of writing, and it became the classical language of the Middle Kingdom in Egypt. And you can know about their lives just by reading these hieroglyphs written in their columns and walls. Um, in some cases, they used it to represent the story of the way they lived, and it turns into an alphabet. It shows us how something that is at first as complicated as an image can turn into a symbol, and once it turns into a symbol, you can pretty much tell anything. And watching out all these images, I couldn't help but thinking of the work of Picasso and how he also found a way to simplify reality. Here is an example on how he uses the form of the ball and slowly starts simplifying it to its most simple form. And this is something that he used in all through his career. He talked about how he learned how to draw and paint when he was a child, and spent the rest of his life to basically learn how to deconstruct and simplify things. And I think this is a goal that can be achieved by all of us just by trying to find a way to say the most in the most simple way. Here's another example on how he did the same thing with the sculpture, just taking a few elements from a bicycle and turning into the same element of the ball that is very representative of his work. He did the same thing with his paintings and the way he depicted figure, and it reminds me a lot of the Egyptian images and how they represent everything, every figure in a profile. And Picasso went beyond and not only did the profile to show the entire dimension of the nose, but also a way to show both eyes. He used all this abstraction and deconstruction to create some of his most memorable paintings, like Guernica, in which he also uses the ball again and deconstructs it again and show it in a different way, in a different context, in the context of the war.